this episode of my Feature Tracks playlist for July 2025. I'm R.E.Fort, and in this episode or post, I picked 6 tracks spanning a few genres from a few of my recent releases. In this list we have For Themselves, Living in Strange Times, Just Stay, Why Don't You Just Let Us Play, Told Ya, and Run With Me. As always, you can find links to this playlist for YouTube, YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, or Amazon in this post and on my website at refort.co/playlist. Let's get to this playlist. Kicking off this month's playlist is For Themselves from my latest release, Stop, Wait, and Think. In this progressive rock fusion track, I'm playing the melody using my Stratocaster along with a grand piano sound. On keyboards, I used a combination of instruments, strings, a Fender Rhodes electric piano sound for chords. The solo is played using my Gibson SG. This track is an up-tempo rock track that will get you moving. The break in this track breathes in the progressive rock vibe with cool licks between the Gibson SG and the grand piano sound. Let's give For Themselves a listen. Next up is Living in Strange Times. I wrote this track during the first few months of 2020 when everything was so strange. I wanted a song that would reflect how strange the times were and are, but also convey a sense of hope. I love the opening of this track with that cool bass line and those chord hits. This track has this off-tempo feel to it for a blues track, but it works. I use my Fender Acoustic Electric for the melody and my Fender Stratocaster for the solo. I use 2 piano sounds on this track, a grand piano for the chords and a Rhodes electric piano sound for the solo and melody. Let's give Living in Strange Times a listen. Next up is Just Stay. I love this power ballad with its great intro and killer solos. To me, a power ballad has a format to it. Start simple, soft, and build from there. I start this track with that piano part and those soft rising strings building up. I play the melody using a grand piano sound, and later my Ibanez hollow body is playing that same melody as well. I'm playing my Gibson SG for that killer solo. The horns and drum programming and that killer solo take this ballad into that big power ballad format. I love the way the guitar solo sounds soaring over the horns and strings of this track. This song just rocks. Let's give Just Stay a listen. Okay, it's time to kick it up a notch with Why Don't You Just Let Us Play? The foundation or sound canvas for this track is the rhythm section. The rhythm guitar, Fender Rhodes piano, drum programming, and that cool bass guitar line. I love how I start this track with just that bass guitar line. I had a blast writing and playing it too. The staccato horns help drive the groove for this track. I played my Gibson SG for the rhythm guitar and the melody. The solo features my Fender Stratocaster, and I love how it sounds with those horns pushing the track on. The last section or break still gets me how the song changes during that solo. Let's give Why Don't You Just Let Us Play a listen. Next up is Told Ya, the title track from my 2022 release. On this cool track, I'm playing the Ibanez hollow body guitar for the rhythm and the melody. For the solo, I'm playing my Fender Stratocaster. The walking bass line on this track sounds so good. On the keyboard side, I have horns and strings accenting throughout the song. I'm using the Rhodes sound for the piano chords on this one too. Cheryl named this track while I was writing it. She heard the way the chord changes sounded and said, "Told you, gotta love her." Let's give Told You a listen. The last track on this playlist is Run With Me. This track is a conversation between the guitar and the keyboards, specifically my Fender acoustic electric guitar and a baby grand piano sound. There is a killer solo at the end of this track that, believe it or not, I played on my Fender acoustic electric guitar. It sounded so good I decided to leave it and not redo it using my SG or Stratocaster. On the keyboard side, I'm using a grand piano sound for the melody and the solo, and I use my Fender Rhodes electric piano sound to play the chords. This is such a cool and fun track. Let's give Run With Me a listen. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of my Feature Tracks playlist and get a chance to listen to the full playlist on either YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, or Amazon Music sites. Remember, you can find links to this playlist for those sites in this post and on my website at R.E.Fort.co/playlist. The song opening and closing this podcast is still one of my favorites, a track named So Cool from my CD 10 released in 2017. Thanks for listening, and as always, without music, life has no soul. Thanks.